So hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Morpheus Darkson, and today in this video we are going to be discussing the spirit of Santa Claus. So while some may think that Santa Claus is a fake creation of Christians in the later half of the first millennium, it is actually true that egregores can be formed from ideas. And what I think happened with Santa Claus is my personal opinion. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining a few things I found about him. And this video is also going to be later continued with the second part, which will be focusing on Krampus, which is a traditional antithesis to Santa Claus and is supposed to be Satan himself. So, so let's get right into it. And my candles are burning pretty well tonight. So let's start this out today. So, what is and who is Santa Claus? So, in modern traditions of Christmas, Santa Claus or Father Christmas is said to be a spirit who is immortal, an elf-like being who gives good behaved children gifts on Christmas Day. And it is also said that Santa Claus is a really well being who gives coal or other sorts of things to naughty children as well. So while some of you might be confused how the tradition started, there are a few theories, and I'm going to be explaining all of them in today's video. So before we start anything, I want to introduce myself. My name is Morpheus Darkson. I'm a witch based in India. I am initiated into the Qliphoth current. I work with the Norse gods. I have practice of the Goetia, and I am initiated into the tarot and the runes divinatory systems. And I'm also working with angel magic for a while now. And this part is just to explain who I am and you are getting this information from. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. And before we start, I want to introduce my patrons, and I really appreciate their help. Brad Grandstaff, His Majesty. So let's get right into it. So, who is Santa Claus? Santa Claus is supposed to be a deity or an elf-like figure who is from mythologies of Ireland and UK. He is supposed to be a being who gives children gifts on Christmas morning, and he is also a punisher, sort of, who calls upon Krampus to hurt children who are misbehaving and are naughty, or basically anyone who is, naughty or acts like a traditional kid. So, anyways, so why do people believe in Santa Claus? Honestly, nobody in our world believes in Santa Claus at this point, and I do believe in him in a sort of way, because Santa Claus has been someone who has given me a little bit of courage and light every single Christmas. And I personally believe that a being at this point has been created who is called Santa Claus. And Santa Claus is a being of reciprocity, or my English is fucking dead. Anyways, what I mean is that he is the embodiment of Thanksgiving as well, giving gifts and appreciating life. He is a symbolic essence of Yuletide. And when in Yule we reciprocate the gifts of gods by giving them gifts as well. Santa Claus gives children who are giving their parents and everyone gifts by being good and behaved. He gives them gifts to show that he appreciates them, and God or the higher beings appreciate them as well. So, anyways, this is basically Santa Claus in essence. And the origin of Santa Claus can be said to be based on the idea of the three magi or the three wise men who gave Jesus Christ when he was born gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And by doing that, they started the system and the tradition of giving gifts on the day of Jesus' birth. And this tradition has been continuously going on well into the modern era. And this is how Santa Claus is basically seen or shown as a gift giver. And that is basically what I have for the historical aspect of Santa Claus. Then now we go to the metaphysical. When we go to the metaphysical, we see that Santa Claus and Krampus both are kind of similar in a way that they both are part and are represented by a specific archetype or a specific energetical force, which we can sense by studying the lore and history of older religions. When we go further into spirituality, we see that there is archetype of a fiery red god versus the antithesis, who is the green horn being. In old traditional magic, in older scriptures, and in old lodges of magic, this red being is called the Great Sun. The Great Sun is the phoenix or the figure of the sun god who lives in the sky, who goes around through the sky using the chariot and is the embodiment of soul. While the antithesis is not moon. In old traditional magic, it is the horn god. The horn god or the green man is a deity who is connected to Scandinavian and old Asia, European, Eurasian cultures, or specifically the Aryan culture, which was from Iranian plateaus. When we study the old cultures from all those religions, we find that the archetype of the horn god, the green man, and the sun god who lives in the sky differ, because the green man is the earthbound god. He lives on earth, walks with nature, and is the embodiment of nature. While the sun god goes into the sky, he or she just floats, flies, or just travels using sleds, chariots, and other sorts of divinely methods. And by doing that, what they do is that we create a differentiation. The sun god is at the sky, he or she is beyond us, he or she is a higher deity, while the green man is an earthbound god who lives amongst man and who is the embodiment of nature. In old cultures, both of them were similar, both of them represented good or the natural cycle. However, in later theories, in later years, it had changed into that the green man is seen as an evil figure. You will find him or her as the Green Knight in Arthurian legend and as Krampus. And I will explain more about that in the Krampus video. What you must know is that the red archetype has traditionally been assigned to Santa Claus, who is a god of red who flies through the sky and has his own sled, which is flying. He's fucking flying through the sky in a chariot, just like the old gods like Apollo, Sol Invictus, and Surya. So the next part will be about the metaphysical energies of Santa Claus. And wait a second. Anyways, Now we will work on the metaphysical energies of Santa Claus. What Santa Claus represents and what its energy is, and what I personally believe and hypothesize is that Santa Claus once existed as an idea who, after people started creating the figure, after started making children and people believe in Santa Claus, created a being or sort of egregore, which has either mixed or has been taken over by a real spirit who has been called Santa Claus as of now. And the energy of this being is that of love and compassion. And I think the energetic energies of Santa Claus is best represented by the archetype of the Christ, the Messiah figure who gives people what they desire. By studying different lores, I have found that Santa Claus in a few cultures, he is recently being seen or heard. Many people, especially children, claim to have heard his bells at midnight of Christmas. And that is why many people believe in him. And a lot of people also believe in Santa Claus being a real being who loves and gives children gifts when they desire it. So, anyways, what I want to explain right now is my own personal gnosis on Santa Claus. So, as a child, I believed in Santa Claus, and I believe that Santa Claus's essence has been created into an egregore because I can pretty sure say that I have heard his bells, I have heard and felt energies of a loving, giving being. And that energy I really feel sometimes during the Christmas and Yuletide season. What I feel is that the energy of giving, love, and appreciating and trusting family and people. This is what I have felt. And that is why I believe that Santa Claus exists as an egregore, as a being of communication, and you can communicate with him in a form. And in my own workings, I've heard and seen that Krampus and Santa Claus are both two sides of the same coin. Santa Claus represents the lighter side or Mercury, according to a few people. And by doing that, we can learn that giving gifts and traveling, which is a part of Santa Claus's routine, can be said to be a mercurial aspect. Loving, having communication, family, all of this can be said to be Mercurian in nature. And Krampus is the opposite of that. He does the thing of transformation. He is the darker aspect. He punishes people. While Santa Claus rewards, Krampus punishes. And by doing that, he is a Saturnian figure as well. And he's also Mercurian in the nature that he is the dark side of Mercury. And by doing that, I have learned and I have seen connections with Krampus and the figure of Krampus and Santa Claus with another culture, Norse to be precise. The figure of Santa Claus is widely connected with Odin, in fact. While Odin is the dark god, he also travels as a bearded man and gives people who he likes. He gives them offerings and he gave humans the Havmal or his words, which is something even I read every day to go further beyond and to just trust myself and have my own workings. And the darker part is that Odin is kind of seen as a light part of Mercury. He is a mercurial deity. And in Norse mythologies, we see another being who acts as a mercurial figure, but he is a mischievous, he's a dark part of Mercury. And there are both characters. There are two beings who are connected with that. The primary one is Loki. Loki is the opposite of Odin. He symbolizes Odin. He is also a part of Odin, but he's also different in a way that while Odin is a god who has morals, who tries not to break oath. Loki loves mischievousness and he shapeshifts to have fun. He does things which are not supposed to be done normally. He is a mischievous god, he's a chaotic entity. And he's that's why associated with Odin and Mercury in a way. And another being is the Norse squirrel, Ratatoskr. Ratatoskr is a squirrel who gnaws on the branches of the old tree, Yggdrasil. And he's a creature who is responsible for the fight and the animosity between the eagle, the wise eagle who stays at the top of the tree, and Nidhogg is the serpent who dwells at the bottom. And he is supposed to be devoured during Ragnarok and is the reason for the fights and the animosity between the two creatures. And Ratatoskr is also seen to be kind of similar to the Hindu god Narada, who is also something like that. He also is associated with Mercury or the mischievous part of it. And that is how Santa Claus is an actual entity. Anyways, we went straight out of this. Jesus. I think I got sidetracked a little bit. Also, I got this new light, so I hope my setup is much better this time than before. Anyways, so this is my basic video that I've made today. So I will see you guys in my next video. So take care, have a great day, have a great Yuletide, and I will see you guys later in my next video. And if you want to see the next part of this video about Krampus and my Yuletide ritual live, then subscribe to my Patreon. We have $5 tiers, which is something I'm trying to grow, and I'm having special events next month for my patrons. So I will appreciate those who can support me in my journey, and I want to again thank my patrons for loving and supporting me in my work. So I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye, have a great day, and take care.